Welcome back, and my first goal in this video training is to share with you the fundamental rules of this market. In fact, this video is so important that I suggest to watch it again and again. You would need this many times. Every golden rule is designed to help you become a better investor. So in order to play in this market, I suggest not to take any shortcuts and follow these golden rules for better success. Before you go any further, please download the attachment. It's going to be there near this video somewhere, where all of these golden rules are covered, and keep it handy because believe you me, you will need it in your journey. Okay, here is the list of those 10 golden rules for cryptocurrency market. Okay, golden rule number 1, never ever borrow money to invest in any volatile investment like cryptocurrencies. Like any penny stock investment, this is a risky one until you are better at managing your risk. Our recommendation is not to borrow money. Why? Because when you borrow money, you start putting pressure on yourself, on your emotions. That fear and greed principle I'm going to talk about a little bit later, but that's what it starts kicking in. So when you use your play money, what is play money? Play money is something which you, even if you lose, it's okay for you. You can still manage your emotions properly. That's a small sum. That could be different for different person. But you can afford to lose in the case of worst case scenario. When you borrow big sum of money, you have a constant pressure to pay interest and principal at the agreed whatever the duration you decide. And that pressure may put you in a very, very difficult scenario. And you may make mistakes. What kind of mistakes I'm talking about? Well, you might sell early without making enough money. So you're leaving basically the money on the table which you deserve. Or you might sell at a loss. Even when you know that that particular cryptocurrency will go up, because that's part of the volatility journey. And that's the rule of any kind of investment. So that's rule number 1. The second golden rule number 2, and you're going to love this, educate yourself. Educate yourself to understand everything about cryptocurrencies investments. And that's what we're doing over here. We believe that everyone should educate themselves, and then only basically they should make sure that they start diving in. Learn to do your due diligence before investing any kind of money in this kind of investment opportunity. Well, and cryptocurrency is no different. So when it comes to investing in your education, it means you're not only buying the educational courses like this one or many others, but also learning and practicing it. Okay, golden rule number 3, do your due diligence before investing in cryptocurrencies. You remember I mentioned the same thing during when I was talking about education. Well, once you learn to decipher a good opportunity from the large number of cryptocurrencies, you will start reducing your risk. Make sense? Well, that's the way the system works. Now, due to a minimal amount of regulation, as of now when I'm talking about this cryptocurrency market, it might change in future, who knows? In a couple of years, everything might change. But as of now, there's a limited regulation. There's hardly any regulation. There are a large number of scams and weak opportunities. So before you invest in any of those opportunities, never ever make that kind of investment just because somebody is saying so. Listen to them, but do your own research. learn to do your own research. And we'll keep sharing those tips with you in this course and in many more upcoming courses, the advanced cryptocurrency courses, which we would be bringing over here. So stop blaming others if you lose money. Why? Because you took the decision of investment, you deciding, so own it. Because this is how you're going to help yourself. It's going to push you to learn more and more about that. And that's the way you can fine-tuning your investment skills over the time. Try it. The reality is, no matter what someone says, you will lose sometimes, you'll win sometimes. Your goal is to maximize your wins so that you can keep making money. Make sense? Well, over to now next rule, which is golden rule number 4. Learn to play for the failures. What do I mean by that? The reality is that there are no guarantees in place for any type of investments. Unless you go for maybe those guaranteed investments or the bonds where there are some humble or low returns. The fact is that you will lose money and you will make money. Now, if you go back to golden rule number 1, what does it say? It says that never ever borrow money for this investment. Right? You remember all that? So while planning, think of that scenario. What if you lose your investment? Now you also remember I said the play money. If it's a play money, even if you lose that investment, you are okay. So the worst case scenario here is you'll start thinking of, okay, what should I do now to reduce the losses? That's the right kind of thought process. Now you'll start thinking about, okay, I need to diversify. I need to have a smart portfolio. I need to make sure I minimize my investment in this because I'm not too confident. Those are the right kind of, ideas. That's the right kind of thought process. So you don't have, you never panic in that situation because now you're in control, much more control of that situation through all those ideas. Even if you lose that investment, now you can afford to take that risk because with the high risk comes bigger rewards. But now everything you're thinking about that. The next rule is golden rule number 5, learn to minimize the risk through proper diversification. Now the best place to learn about this is from the big boys, such as the mutual fund managers. Well, what do they really do is they manage the risk, I think, the best possible way. They follow a mix of proper diversification with the stop losses. And last but not the least, they never invest unless they have studied a company technicals, the fundamentals. They even go to the extent of learning everything about the company management and their capabilities. Now, that makes them comfortable. So when it comes to cryptocurrencies, everything applies, right? Now, I want to share a simple rule here. Everything applies as it is what I said, but there's a simple rule I want to share here. Never invest all of your money in one type of currency. What do I mean by that? Well, there are different kind of currency projects, tokens and all that. So never ever think of investing all your money in Bitcoin related tokens, or for that matter, Ethereum related tokens, or Litecoin related tokens, or Monero related tokens, Ripple related tokens. There's so many cryptocurrencies. What you need to do is you need to diversify, make sure your investment is properly diversified. So even if one currency goes down, you're still protected. You might lose some over here, you might gain some over here, and in the process, you're okay. That's the name of the diversification. But if you invest everything in one cryptocurrency, and if that goes down, it's a problem for you. That brings to the next topic, golden rule number 6. Learn to create a smart portfolio. Now, going back to the approach of mutual fund managers, remember I talked about they put some money in the US companies, some in the Canadian companies, some in the European companies, some in the Asian companies, and the list goes on. So why do they do that? Because they want to make sure it's protected the same way as I was earlier explaining about different currencies. They also put money in a variety of securities, such as stocks, bonds, cash, options, whatever they might decide. Now, you got the idea. When it comes to cryptocurrencies, you need to follow the same model, the same approach. Now, you can invest in various different coins or different tokens and different opportunities. You could even make Bitcoin as cash currency reserve for your portfolio. You can also invest in something called initial coin offering, ICOs, like initial public offering, which is called IPO. These are called ICOs. But our recommendation is to do ICO investment at the end. Why? This is where you may lose more money, but the rewards at the same time are very, very high. But people who do this without realizing what they're doing, they might lose money over there. Once you're comfortable, you start understanding the market, then you can better manage even if it's a risky field. And the reason why it's so risky, all those ICOs, because of variety of scams. The next rule, which is golden rule number 7, learn to protect your cryptocurrencies. That's the worst thing if you lose your cryptocurrencies. Now, due to the lack of regulations, you need to open a variety of accounts in crypto wallets, crypto exchanges, apps, you name it. What happens when you start doing this? You may start losing the control. And there's a high risk of losing money, because what you're doing here is you're moving money from one app to another app, from one exchange to another exchange, from one wallet to another wallet or to another exchange. If you don't keep a control of all of this, you might lose money. And that puts more risk to everything. That's the reason why we recommend go slow, go easy, manage everything. Once you're comfortable, then move on to the next exchange or next wallet. But the problem is, because there's so many players, you have to have a variety of accounts. There's no single place where you can go and manage everything. Now, that's the reason why we also recommend that keep all your cryptocurrency investment or everything in a wallet, in a cryptocurrency wallet, so that you can start managing things from there. There are a variety of cryptocurrency wallets like Jax, Abra, blockchain.info. There's so many. We'll talk about some of those in our future advanced training. For the purpose of this one, we'll just talk about Jax because that's the most commonly used. Now, cryptocurrency wallets, if you remember, are more secure due to private key feature. And that's why it's recommended always to use the wallets, move money from exchanges to the wallets. Doesn't matter which exchange you're using, every time move money to your wallet. The next golden rule, number 8, learn to manage yourself. That's the most difficult thing. Why? Because fear and greed are responsible for most of our wrong decisions or actions. When you see a crypto token going down, what does go in your mind? You start feeling the pressure, even if you know it will come back. Because your mind starts playing tricks. What if this happens? What if this happens? And you start going through all those things in your mind. The same thing happens when a crypto token starts going up. You feel like selling it too early, leaving lots of money on the table. Can you make connection with everything what I'm saying over here? Believe you me, managing yourself is one of the most difficult challenges for everybody. Not only for you, for me, but everybody. The only way you can get better on that is you start managing yourself, reminding yourself, keep doing this consciously. Keep taking these decisions based on logic rather than emotions. Okay? I think it's time to move on to the next golden rule, which is golden rule number 9. Learn to manage, or learn to minimize, I should say, taxes and not hide it. This can be challenging for some, because they might say, what am I talking about? Well, this is one area where we will always remind you that learn to play a fair game where everything is legal and you can sleep without any worries. Now, we don't believe in taking any kind of shortcuts here. Some people may disagree with me, but that's who we are. We believe we should learn to minimize our taxes legally and never ever hide it. Well, if you make lots of money, work with your tax experts, tax professionals. Discuss with them and see how you can minimize your gains, but declare it to the taxman so that you can enjoy that money. You can start spending that money, and you can start spending that money confidently. I think enough said about this topic. As I said earlier, this can be a touchy one for some folks. Well, moving on now to the last one, which is golden rule number 10. Learn to share with others your successes, your failures, everything what you know. Why? Because collective wisdom or collective learning can be much better than doing everything on your own. We believe there are enough opportunities in the cryptocurrency market, and everybody, no matter where you are located, everyone can benefit from this. There is no need to hide it. In fact, you get more in life when you start sharing about these opportunities with everybody. Now, if you believe in this, if you believe in this philosophical approach, then I invite you to come and check out our private Facebook group. It's called Crypto Hacks Club, because it's Life Hacks Club. That's the reason why we wanted to keep it simple. It's called Crypto Hacks Club. And send us your request to join the group. It's a private group. It's free to join. You can share everything, whatever you want to share over there. What we don't allow over there is no negative environment. You're not allowed to beat others. That's the only requirement we have. Simple rule that it's a collective play, it's a collective learning place where we all learn from each other and create a safer environment for everybody. If you are a newbie, you feel welcomed over there. If you're an experienced one, you have an opportunity to help those newbies. We're going to put that link, and you can go and check it out in that document, the document which you downloaded. Over there, this link would be there. Please feel free to check it out and send us your request, and we'll approve you, and then you can start exchanging your ideas with everybody else. With that, thank you for watching this video. See you in the next video.